This podcast is brought to you by the Black and Mild Invitational, where winners go to win. Black and Mild, the smoothest smoke around. The BPGA, without it, there is no golf. Mountain Dew, yum yum. Beer Stick, it hurts the first time, but y'all done fucked up now. And a special thanks go to Cobra Co, Chug Bud, Nespresso, and of course, Sapelo Golf Course. And now the host of your show, Kyle Porsche.
Well, welcome listeners, and happy 2018. It's KJ Knows Best. We are back, which means golf season is back, which means BMI is back. Real quick, want to give a shout out and thank my producer, Corey Coleman, professional rap artist, for the intro and having me in the studio/lab. It's good to be down here, Trip. I'm usually doing this on my work phone and then talking to a guest on my personal phone and then not having the ability to send it out. So very, very privileged to be down in this glorious studio. How you doing, man?
Well, when I got the call that you chose me over all the talent out there, there wasn't a bigger honor I could have had to produce this show, to be a part of this show. And all in all, just can't wait.
For people who don't know, we're sitting in Corey's garage. This is a makeshift studio.
Makeshift.
Who built it with you? Is it Nick Creighton?
Nick Petrie.
Nick Creighton and Nick Petrie and Corey built this thing from the ground up. Yeah, man. So we're gonna get going here. What's your level of excitement for the BMI, man? I mean, how?
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm getting excited.
Oh.
I've been more excited in recent years. No, I'm kidding, man. I mean, it's. I mean, year after year, it's the biggest thing we'll ever do.
Real question though. Am I too excited already? 10 out of 10?
Might be. That's why I'm trying to kind of level the nerves. I'm just trying to get into March. I mean, we'll be listening. Everyone will be listening to this on March 1st. We'll be 17 days away. We are 17 days away, and a lot can happen between now and then. You don't want to get too up. You don't want to get too down. So
Noted.
So we're gonna bring on the chairman of the Black and Mild Invitational, Andrew Davis. Andrew, are you there?
Hello, Earthlings.
How are we doing, man? 17 days away. What's up?
Getting chills. Just got off a flight. Sitting here in my bathrobe. Really happy to be doing episode 1 of a 3-part series with KJ and Trip C, producer. Just excited to have you guys, man. We're making lots of improvements down here. Actually just cleaned out the guest closet this evening, so there's some room in there for somebody to sleep. So we're churning.
That's a good point. Before we kind of get into everything, we will be doing at least 2 parts, maybe 3, hopefully 3. We'll dive into teams later. Have the captains hopefully on. I'll get them to talk about their team and their level of excitement as well. So you cleaned out the closet, huh?
Yeah, things are really happening down here.
Wow. Is the house in form? I mean, what's
I got to get a electrician out here sometime in the next couple weeks to fix these lights in the living room. But other than that, I mean, we're good to go.
So
this place is damn near bomb-proof.
Remind me, is there 2 houses? Is there 2 places to lay our heads at night, or is it going to be 3
Yes.
with Sapelo above?
So it's going to be the condo. It's going to be obviously the main house. 06ers bringing the RV, which is arguably the biggest play in BMI history. So I mean, the sleeping it went from being a minor issue to an absolute non-issue, because we probably could honestly have double the amount we're having sleep.
Yeah. Let's talk about the golf course real quick.
Sure.
Sapelo, for those who don't know, tell us what happened to the golf course a month and a half back, and
yeah, man, it's been
a
a wild ride here the last couple months. We found out about 6 weeks ago that they were about $900,000 behind on taxes. Not really sure whose fault that was or how that happened, but long story made short, they reached out to everybody in the community down here, good old Shillman Bluff, and said we need some money, and community rallied around the course and raised $1.2 million in about 2 weeks and saved the course and gave them a nice little nest egg to work off on. They're doing some improvements out there. They're cleaning up the clubhouse. They're having more events. They're putting their money back into the course, which is good to see. So we were worried there for a second we might have to move location, but thankfully Sapelo will remain the home of the Black and Mild Invitational.
Andy, quick question: Did you have any contribution to getting Sapelo back on its feet?
No comment, just in case my wife listens to this.
Love that.
Perfect. It's safe to say that the majority of that 1.2 was from the Davis household. So we really appreciate it, and we're excited to come down there and take it over again. Kind of leading up, Andy, to the BMI and the course and the conditions. Is there going to be anything that you're going to personally do, walking through the course with the maintenance crew, kind of giving specific directions as cutting and whatnot?
Yeah, I've thought about that for a while, and I know that we got a good bit of people coming down here Thursday, some on Wednesday for a potential practice round on Friday, which I think is good. But I think they're doing a good job with the course now. I don't really think there's going to be a whole lot of explanation necessary, especially after a practice round. Of course, we want to make sure that the greens are in good shape, which they always are, and I don't see that being an issue at all. Mainly just want everybody that's going to play on Friday to have a good time, and hopefully they listen to where to hit the ball from me because, well, me or Maddie, I suppose. But once that course knowledge is dropped, it's a one-time offer. You're not going to get that again.
Yes, and I did hear a rumor on Friday that this practice rounds, just like any PGA Tour event on the practice rounds, the tees where we'll be playing Saturday will be marked off, so they will not be able to play from there, which is 100%.
Nice. Everybody will be playing from the Reds.
That's correct. So for those who haven't been to a BMI before, I almost want to say it's half the field. I guess we could find out real quick, but tell them what to expect down on the fucking bluff, man. When they arrive Friday through Sunday, tell us what to expect on the fucking bluff. Producer Corey is looking up how many people who have not been to the fucking bluff.
I mean, it's an absolute circus, especially with the activities that we have planned this year. But it's a circus. It's kind of tough to explain if you've never been. I know that we probably have 10 people that haven't, and for those who haven't, it's said it last year, said it the year before. It's always wise to get down here early and acclimate because it's no joke, man. I mean, it's a different type of feel. It's a different type of vibe. It's a different type of sticky, and it's what to expect. I guess what to expect is the unexpected. So
producer Corey counted nine players in the field.
Yeah. Would be wise to arrive early.
Wow. It's incredible.
Would be wise to arrive early. I mean, you guys know it's just different. I mean, it's a free-for-all.
Yeah. Tell you what.
Do whatever you want, stay as long as you'd like, and... Yeah, something new, Andy, that we're doing this year is the Champions Dinner. So I don't know how much you can talk about. I mean, I think we all know the menu from the invitations, sure.
But
the menus really, I mean, geez, the menu, it took longer to get the menu together than it did to have 24 people commit to the tournament. That was like pulling teeth with that championship team. I don't know how we let them win last year because no team chemistry, especially when it comes to food.
Who was the hardest to get?
Well, what they did was they tried to divvy it out where each person got to pick a certain item. There's 4 items and 4 players. And then I wanted to throw a special dish in there on behalf of Emily and I. So that's kind of the palate cleanser part of that Champions Dinner. But they tried to do it where each person picked one thing, and then other people had ideas, and then those ideas some people liked, some people didn't like. But we got it done, and so it's going to be start off with a nice air fried cheese stick. Then we're going to jump into a nice low country boil that M's dad's graciously making us. He's been looking forward to making that, I think, probably more than our wedding. He's very excited to make that for us. So we're gonna low country boil cookie cake with the championship team, and then White Russians the whole way.
Wow.
And then you got the palate cleanser in there after the low country boil.
Man, it seems like we're going to be waking up Saturday feeling ready to go.
Are we ever?
So
And that's just to kick things off, baby.
where is this happening? Is this in Chef Emily's kitchen? Is Chef Emily making the food? I mean, I know Emily's
The
dad's
nice
making
part
it.
is that I think it's going to be pretty low maintenance. So the way that it's going to be set up is the champions, of course, get to eat at the championship table. We'll have some tables in here in the living room. Everybody can sit down and eat at, converse with their teams, and maybe people they don't know. The cheese sticks will be ordered in and brought to us. Emily's dad's making the low country boil. We'll have the cookie cake on hand when everybody arrives. Palate cleanser is the only thing that we really have to prepare along with the White Russians, but that's about as easy as it can get.
Wow. Corey, you excited for the Champions Dinner?
You fucking built it.
I built it. I mean, and to answer your original question, Kyle, you have myself, Frat, Colin, and Adam. Who do you think was the hardest to deal with?
I just asked the questions. I have a good guess. Well, let's move on. The Champions Dinner sounds like it's gonna be just incredible. Can't wait
Please
for
get
that.
here as early as possible. I'm going to be very, very hungry.
Last year we had a post-round dinner that I think was at 10 p.m. So hopefully we can eat the Champions Dinner.
I think on Saturday what we're going to do is we're just going to order a bunch of Zollers and have at it. Shout out Zollers.
Shout out to Zollers. Have not been to Zollers. Really excited for Zollers. Shout out to Zollers. Let's talk about the draft order, the tee time. Is it going to be the same as last year with the 21 Cup double elimination for those who weren't there?
That's a good question. I guess I'll use this as a platform. That way we can tell who's been listening and who hasn't. Because if somebody asks that question, then we'll know they haven't listened to the podcast. So we're gonna throw a little wrinkle into it this year. The way that we're gonna do it this year is, since everybody's going to be here on Friday, as of right now, I've been told everybody will be here on Friday night, so we'll have full crew. We're going to have March Madness style bracket tournament to go along with the theme. Each team of 4 will compose 2 teams, so 2 and 2. Those teams will be placed on opposite sides of the bracket, and then we will play normal beer pong until there is a winner. At which point we will do the team that makes it the furthest in the tournament. There may be some, elimination games for seeding at that point, but it'll be a March Madness bracket style tournament, 10 cup, winner take all.
Wow, that's an incredible setup. Who's the early favorite team-wise? I mean, I was just looking at the teams real quick, and Mark Harris is good at beer pong. Not good at golf, but good at...
That team's by far and away the favorite. They have 4 really, really solid players.
I've never played with Bruce or Hare, really, in pong.
Yeah, Hare and Bruce are good.
Joey's awesome.
Joe's really good. Them are probably my team, Butter's team, because, we got 4 Georgia Southern University graduates on that team, so you got to throw us into the mix. Plus, me and Brian have been known to win a beer pong tournament a time or 2. So I like our chances as well. I mean, it's really about just not picking last, honestly.
I mean,
well,
we can tell last place, you'll be all right.
Well, it's not hard to think who's probably not favored.
Correct.
Can you name the team?
I mean, everybody that's not named Team Butters or Team Porsche.
I would say so, but we've got the 4 faces up here. We've got Adam, Paul, Sam, and Frat.
Yeah, that team's definitely last.
Gosh. I mean, listen.
They might as well tee off 6th now.
I didn't plan on talking about this, but for any of us that haven't had kids or have gotten married, the opening tee shot is the most nerve-wracking thing you'll ever do in your life.
100%. I think I was talking to Blake about that this past weekend. I mean, the tournament's growing year over year exponentially, but this year, I mean, the first person on that tee box is going to have 24, 25 people staring at them, all with their cameras out. I mean, it'll be like a freaking web.com tour event.
I mean, I can't hit in front of 2 people. Think about the first team that tees off at the Black and Mountain Invitational.
That first team.
After your, initial speech and tee off, I just can't even imagine
Yeah.
The thoughts there.
Endless pressure, especially for the guy going first.
Yeah. Oh my
we all
God.
know what that looks like when the first person's up there and they just shit down their leg, and it really drives you nuts.
Andy, can we get a little bit of a sneak peek of the sponsors this year, or is that something the committee and yourself are kind of holding?
Yeah, I mean we got a pretty honestly it's honestly been incredible, and the committee, you can't thank them enough for their effort. I mean countless DMs, countless offers, countless counter offers. I mean it's something that we never really have done in the past to this type of scale. But yeah, I just got off the phone with Beer Stick representative yesterday. They're sending us a good bit of stuff. We've got we've reached out to a lot of drinking companies, so they've been great. We got Beer Stick, we got King Cobra, we got Chug Bud. There's all kinds of ways to drink beer down here on the bluff, so we're gonna try to capture all those, and then we got some normal sponsors too. We've had some guys from a couple different food companies that are golf related reach out to us, and the Instagram page has been a great help in getting those sponsorships locked down. Shout out BPGA. But the list just keeps on growing, man. I mean, it's tough to keep up with. It feels like every day we're getting, I'm getting packages. Yesterday I had 2 packages sitting on my, front step. They were for the BMI.
And Andy, with that being said, we're going to cut to our sponsors. We'll be right back after these messages. KJ Knows Best would also like to thank our platinum sponsors: Budweiser, the king of beers; Smith & Wesson, bang, bang; No Nats, don't bring that shit around me; Zollers, the late spot and the only spot; Golden Waffle, I'm cooking waffles; State Farm, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there; B&R Auto Repair, the lowest price around; and Precept Laddies. What else are you gonna hit? A shoe?
Welcome back to KJ Knows Best. Andy.
Yo.
So, tell me how the field at the very end was assembled. I mean, say to the 6 to 7 last golfers, because I personally, there was 7. I counted 6 golfers that came to me personally that expressed interest in receiving an invite, and for confidentiality reasons, I'm not going to tell you those.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you who those are. But.
I mean, it was tough, man, because the goal this year was have 24 firm commitments, and honestly, we probably really could have pushed that to mid 30s. I think there was a ton of interest. I mean, I know you've been approached, I've been approached. Different people in the group have been approached about people willing to play, and we sent invitations out to those that we felt would be a firm commitment right away. No issue. A couple of those fell through, so at the end of it, I was talking with the committee, and we were just really searching for somebody that we weren't going to have to beg them to play. So there's probably some people that deserve to be here this year. All I can say is that those names have been recorded, and they will be invited next year, and then they'll have the opportunity at that point to either accept or join the fraternity.
Yeah. We touched on it already. Remember year 1, it was 3 people in Copper Beach. Now it's 20. What is it? The official count, 24?
24 plus a couple others.
With the almost around the clock job, the committee and yourself as chairman, are you getting to the point where you still enjoy putting this on each year? Is it getting almost too big? Is it becoming more of a full-time job for you? Is there any idea that you're going to pass the torch on?
Yeah, I've gotten that question a couple times from other press conferences I've done, and the easy answer is no. I mean, this is something that I love to do, not only for my friends but their families, and the supporters of the BMI that are out there. I don't really see us slowing down. It's all about preparation, just like anything else. If you're prepared to do this, which we have been, then get after it early. So fortunately, the committee and I have had the foresight to attack this thing early on, and we've been planning and prepping now for 2 months leading up to this. So all the stuff that you guys will do and see are products of that preparation. But I mean, the scale at which we're trying to grow this thing, I said it this weekend, is, next year I want 40 firm. So that's kind of the next year goal. And then from there, I'd like to get 72. And the reason why I'd like to get 72 is because that puts us in a position to have the golf course entirely to ourselves and do a shotgun start. So the goal next year, 40. Following year, 72. Of course, there's going to be some, logistical problems with that many people playing in a golf tournament. So it'll probably require, 80 people, with having people on standby if needed. But no, we're not slowing down for nothing.
Andy, at that point, if we get that big, will the tournament move into a multi-day tournament at that point? Is that something that the committee's looked at?
We've looked at that, and we've toyed with the idea. I don't necessarily know if the Black and Mild Invitational is best suited for that. We're kind of rooted deep in our tradition and our history at the Black and Mild Invitational. It's certainly something that we're not dismissing at this time. But I certainly like to explore the option of playing a multi-day tournament, but the Black and Mild may not be best suited for that, just simply because I don't know how the committee will react to that.
What about course change? For as long as we may live, do you want it at Sapelo?
Yeah, Sapelo's open. We're playing at Sapelo.
So, like you said, you wanted to get you're 40 next year and then 70. You still would like to still let it be held at Sapelo?
100%.
Okay.
Everybody come on down. Bring your RV. Bring your camper. Bring your tent. We can fit 80 people out on the lawn.
Yeah. I mean, it makes the most sense. I was just that many people, just thinking.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's.
Soon, in due time.
Yeah, take over the city.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into a little bit of the draft. I mean, we can wait for 40 and 70, but we have 24 this year, an incredible field, easily the most talented field we've ever had. Just a little, and Corey, feel free to chime in as well. Is there any? Let's talk about the draft first. I thought the draft was incredible. The Instagram live, everything about it, I thought was perfect. Chairman Andy, you did a phenomenal job.
Great job.
With that being said, is there anything that stood out draft choice wise to you guys? Anyone got picked too early, too late? Were you surprised
Corey
about
got
anything?
picked way too late.
Yeah.
I mean, Corey's beaten the absolute shit out of 75% of the field in the last two times we've played golf. So, I mean, pretty clear to answer that question. Corey got picked way too late.
Corey was selected 12th overall, by the way.
A little bit late, too, just simply because of his course knowledge. I don't want to say that anybody got picked too early because, there are certain players that maybe are drafted above their value, but it's a scramble tournament too, so you got to kind of keep that in mind. Where a guy like Gary, even though he might not be the best individual golfer, we've all seen Lance catch fire. So I mean, players like that could go either way. Certainly after the round, I'm sure we'll have some different thoughts on that depending on how everything shakes down. But I thought Corey got drafted way too late.
Yeah, I played with Corey last week, and tough water course in Florida, and I thought he played extremely well. And then he played a week before that. I wasn't with him, but I also heard he played really well. Anything for you, Tripp?
No comment on that portion, but the player that got picked too early, in my opinion, I mean, this shouldn't come as a surprise, but Hare. I mean, are you kidding, Kyle? You fight with the kid at our draft about Florida State, UGA. If UGA or Florida State gets brought up on y'all's team, it's done.
GG all.
And we're going to bring it up. So just get ready for that mental warfare.
We'll probably be teeing off last, so you guys will probably be second group. So we probably won't be talking about college football. Hare and I have squashed that. We love college football. We're true competitors. Of course, we're gonna get after each other. I mean, I think Joey and Bruce also love college football. I mean, we're a very emotional team. I think I told Connor this weekend we're the only team to talk shit, get hit, cry about it, and then fuck your wife. So
will tell.
We'll see. We'll see.
I can't wait to watch that team crumble.
Would be fun. Not. So no sleepers really. Any sleeper teams, Andy?
You know, I think that any team that Potter is on, it's tough to call that team a sleeper because Potter's, defending champion and all that stuff. But I know the way that the field is lined up this year, and with the team that he has, I don't think that there's been a lot of stock put into Potter's team. And it's not for lack of talent. I just think if you're looking around at the other teams, then okay, you're probably not picking that team first. But again, I think that team's probably a sleeper team just based on the championship pedigree they have in Potter and Frat White returning for round 2, and then they got a couple other good players that are flyers.
I think with what you said, Potter, I think that the same can go with Butters or Eric. I mean, those guys are just on another level, and I think you just really can't count them out. Obviously, they don't have the supporting cast, but that's the way the draft was kind of formatted. So, I mean, my team, I think, has an overall stronger 4 golfers, just like Connor's does, but I think Eric and Butters and Adam are just that good. So I can't wait to see it. I really can't. Corey, anything?
As for sleepers, individual golfers, I'm interested to see how Jonathan does. I think I've heard he's played well when they played down in Florida. I think the committee or the majority of the field never playing with him. It's a definite X factor. You never know. And then same thing with Cam, even though he was picked, first or second round, or pretty much first round. That could be the biggest X factor in the draft. As for teams, it's a fairly even playing field in my opinion. Definitely have to agree with you about me personally. I would rather be on a team that's 4 people that are good at golf than 1 really good golfer and then 3 average golfers. But who's to say that those players are average golfers? So
yeah, I mean, Adam's team last year. I mean, they you guys did it. You guys were probably maybe you
average.
Maybe you Frat and Colin. Maybe you guys really played up, but I mean, it's exactly
the nice
what
thing
happened
is with this tournament is any one single player can change their team's destiny.
correct.
Doesn't matter who it is. All it takes is 2 or 3 putts.
Andy, is there anyone on the chopping block? I mean, we keep having these tournaments and we keep inviting. I mean, we obviously want people there that care about the game of golf, that care about the Black and Mild Invitational. But is there anyone that you'd say it's kind of close to maybe, sitting out next year due to performance? I mean, who really needs to play well?
The committee and myself have always had a long-standing tradition that if you're willing to make the trip and come to the BMI, you get a bid next year, and that will continue forward until you decline that opportunity. So everybody that's here this year will definitely be receiving an invite next year. Now, whether or not they want to accept that invite is on them, but the nice thing is that with the way the draft is set up, and hopefully as the talent field continues to grow stronger, even if there is players that aren't as good, it actually helps us out a lot to have those players because it makes the teams more even. Yeah. So the way that we designed it this year was we had the perfect number of great, good, average, and bad golfers, and it ended up working out wonderfully. But no, I have no interest in telling somebody they can't come back down if they play like shit, because we've all been there. Yeah. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Corey and I were just kind of looking at the list of names. I think it's an important tournament for Gary.
Oh, it's a massive tournament for Lance, and we're fortunate enough to have him down here on Friday night. So
that was where we were. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think it's very important for Paul. I don't think Paul's won a BMI, and I think he's played in it every year.
This will be the year where either Paul does it or Adam doesn't do it.
Dean,
so that team has a ton at stake.
Yeah. Are you?
Paul gets his first green jacket. It'll be lights out.
Yeah. Are you wanting to give any score predictions, or do you want to kind of hold that maybe for?
I can give what I think the winning score will be. I won't say who's going to have that score because
Sure.
I think that's pretty obvious. But I think that the winning score this year is going to be 12 under.
12 under.
I think 12 under gets it done this year.
Did that just come to you? Have you been thinking about that for a while?
I've thought about it every night before I go to bed for 15 minutes.
Okay. Interesting. I love that, man. I love that. 12 under.
I don't. There's some holes on Sapelo that just aren't birdie holes. So that's where I'm coming up with that number. Is I think that, you know, even if you're playing great scramble golf, you automatically have, you know, 3 holes or 4 holes where you par it. I think that's, you know, to be expected. And then there's 3 holes on the course that just really aren't birdie holes. I mean, it's just tough to get a birdie on those holes. Not that it can't be done, but I'm not going to go out and say, oh, the winning score is going to be 17 under, because if it is, great. You know, I assume that Butters played great that day, but if it's not, then it'll be 12 under.
I'm just about finished. I just had one more question. I was thinking about when you give the score predictions. How big do you think it is for a big chunk of the 06 guys coming in early and playing a practice round?
Well, 06 has answered the bell on every occasion so far, so I can't say enough about how impressed I've been, how impressed the committee has been. As far as, you know, getting commitments, I mean, 06 was committed and paid within, you know, 12 hours of the invitations going out. You know, they have an RV coming, for Christ's sakes. You know, I've talked to all of them personally via text message or phone, and, you know, the excitement's really, really there for those guys, but they got a lot of proof. So, you know, again, not a lot of those guys have been down here outside of Dean and Connor. So, I mean, there's a lot to prove. I mean, they're talking a big game, but so far they've backed it up. So hopefully they continue to do so, because I'd love for those guys to have a great time and come back next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, man, that bell does it for me. If producer Corey's got anything else, doesn't look like he does. I want to thank you so much for coming on. I'm so glad that we're back
KJ
doing
knows
this.
best, baby. Wouldn't have it any other way.
I'm so glad we're back and we're doing it. And like I said, we will have part 2, part 3 coming up before the Black and Mild Invitational. So Andy, Chairman, thank you so much. We will talk soon, and we will see you in the first tee.
Ham bones.
Bread's done.